miles from Earth. As he orbited the moon, he had not only made visual observations, he had been operating a complex series of experiments. Many of these had returned instant data to Houston. 2 had taken thousands of high-resolution pictures of the lunar terrain. Now, from Earth, Mattingly retrieved the film canisters and made his way back to the cabin with them, as Charlie Duke stood in the hatch to help him. It had been quite a mission. In John Young's words,
I think we've seen as much in 10 days as most people see in 10 lifetimes.
April 27, the last day. The crew looked out their windows through the 5,000-degree fireball of re-entry at their native planet. As he orbited the moon, he had not only made visual observations, he had been operating a complex series of experiments. Many of these had returned instant data to Houston. 2 had taken thousands of high-resolution pictures.
Now they're blooming. Beautiful.
Apollo Control Houston, an observer on the Ticonderoga estimates the distance from the ship about 1 mile.
Just got it on your server.
You saw an example of goal-oriented teamwork in action. The kind of thing that made this country great and the kind of thing that's going to keep it that way.
A real smooth shot. Every bit of it, Jerry.
You brought them in beautifully. Well done, young man. Outstanding.
I cannot touch that cigar anymore. I cannot.
Mike, congratulations. Well done.
Yeah, we get one more.
Well
One more to go.
And if we leave the moon, we leave as we came, and God willing, as we shall return.
You probably dreamed of this.
Liftoff on Apollo 11.
You probably replayed this moment 1,000 times. You probably imagined the awe-inspiring, indescribable rush of the ride. You probably celebrated the miraculous, cheered the momentous, and mourned the shocking. You probably dreamed of this. You probably still dream of what could be. You probably replayed this moment 1,000 times. We did. And while many thought imagined the awe-inspiring, indescribable rush of the ride, we've been building. You probably celebrating the miraculous. And now, cheer, it's time. Because the next frontier is not just for the next generation. You probably it's for this generation. Probably still dream. It's for me. Probably replayed this moment 1,000 times. We did. We still dream about it. And while many thought imagined the awe-inspiring, indescribable rush of the ride, we've been building this. You probably celebrating the miraculous. And now, cheer, it's time. Because the next frontier is not just for the next generation. You probably it's for this generation. Still dream. It's for me. Probably replayed this moment 1,000 times.
The laser, a useful tool in industry, science, and medicine.
When it comes down to it, a laser is just a light with extreme focus. It's both elegantly simple and extremely complicated. And it changed the way we literally see the dimensions of our Earth, our moon, the planets, asteroids, and beyond. But it was a long road to get there. Back in the 1980s at NASA, using lasers to measure physical features from space was too experimental, too risky. Fortunately, it was also a time of change and risk-taking at Goddard Space Flight Center.
In the 1960s, there was probably not much question that when a science or applications mission came up, for the most part, it went to Goddard. And we've got to do a better job of selling ourselves and being sure that we're responsive to what headquarters is looking for in terms of the competition between ourselves and other NASA centers.
I came here as hired by the center director, Noel Hinners, in '85, and he said, so what do you want to do? I said, I want to map the topography of Mars, at this scale, not the scale of buildings. How do we do that? And he goes, well, we got folks, they do stuff. And so I met a few of them very quickly, and that was Jim Abshire, John Degnan, Jack Buffton.
We started working with laser remote sensing instrumentation. It was the same type of instrumentation that communicated from ground to satellites in satellite laser ranging. We could do a little airborne laser remote sensing, and Garvin and I sort of found each other through that. I said, come on down to Wallops and we'll fly this. And he said, oh, topography, Earth, yes, I want to measure it.
We literally took a T-39 training aircraft that was put together by the Wallops team, really impressively, and bolted in a big telescope with a laser and went flying out in northern Arizona, where I had done some field work. So out there we have Meteor Crater, we have volcanoes, and we have the Grand Canyon, and the Painted Desert. So we figured in one place we could study all this.
And it was on the strength of that Jim Garvin became interested, and it put him in a position to, when Dave Smith found that his radar altimeter was canceled because it was $30 million instead of 10.
They kept